My favorite thing about camp this year was the new mud games and getting to sling paint at all of our friends. And then the thing that I felt like I had answered the most at camp this year was just a lot of questions I've had for a long time, and I feel like now I have like a bigger sense of like a surety that like I'm right with God at this point in time.
My favorite part in camp this week was food, and I learned in camp that being firm in God means being rooted in God, and the closer we are to Him, the closer we will feel comfortable to doing what He wants.
My favorite thing at camp was definitely the mud games because we all really worked together and had a lot of fun. And I definitely gained a lot of trust and faith that I lost, that I didn't notice I lost throughout the year. So I'm really glad I went, and I'm really glad that everybody sponsored us and that everybody prayed for us, so thank you.
My favorite thing about camp was meeting new people and learning things that I didn't know about people that I already knew. What I learned the most about was really gaining a relationship with God and learning that I can trust Him with things that I don't really trust myself.
My favorite thing at camp was the going to gym and just hanging out with friends and playing basketball. I feel like what I learned most at camp would be that it doesn't matter. Like, if you hear a voice in your head, that means that God's there, because that voice would not be there if there wasn't such thing as God.
Thank you for helping us go to camp and sponsoring us financially.
Thank you for sending me to camp, and my favorite part about camp was the soccer mud pit.
We enjoyed camp together and growing together as a family, as a youth group, and being able to communicate and express ourselves and growing together, being rooted.
My favorite part of camp was the mud games, and I learned that if you doubt, you can drift away from God.
My favorite part was the late night activities, and I learned about communion, which represents how Jesus died on the cross.
Well, I just want to thank everybody at Camp Canby for letting me come. It was a great experience to have, and I always love going. One thing that I loved about it was my relationship with God. It grew more and more every day. And one thing I learned is you don't have to see to believe.
Okay, just thanks everyone who sponsored me or sponsored any of the teams. It was a great experience to be able to go with my youth group. I'd love to be able to worship and have fun with people I don't even know and share with my testimony and listen to others. I learned that it is easier to give away the first patch of soil when it's not as hard. And then once you get the second patch of soil away, it starts to become a little easier and easier. So don't hold your dirt. Let God take control of your life. Bye.
Camp was mud day and paint wars. That was like really fun. And I also got I got to meet a lot of new people. Really fun, enjoy the company. And spiritually what I got out of it was just that we always need to constantly stay close to God, and the fact that He doesn't go farther away, we do.
My favorite part of camp was probably the in-between free times, in between our activities, because our dorms were really cold and it was really hot outside.
And my favorite part about camp was meeting new people. And something else that I learned about camp is that we should not be isolated.
Yeah, we shouldn't feel that way. The devil uses it against us to tear us down.
My favorite part about camp was not only having closer relationships with other people, but having a closer relationship with God. And the thing that I took away from camp was to not doubt my relationship with God, but just stay rooted in Him.
My favorite part about church camp was the late night dodgeball. It was pretty fun nailing people, and also pretty fun to play with my youth group in a game like that. Now, I think the thing I learned the most was if I'm rooted with God, He'll do some amazing stuff for me, and I just need to focus on that day to day.
Yeah, thank you all for sponsoring me for camp. My favorite part about camp was probably just getting to see the friends I made last year.
Okay, my favorite part about camp was the team building obstacle course that I had to go through. Then the most
the thing that we learned was doubt and isolation, that we can always like trust in God, and so we can always come back to Him when we're doubting our spiritual faith or walk. And when you feel isolated, you can always come back to Him, and He'll always be there.
Well, my favorite part about camp probably was when half the guys in the dorm laid out on the concrete and the counselors decided to shoot arrows into the air to see if they could hit us. And I got hit in the shoulder, and it was amazing. I also thought it was interesting to see how so many people were so open to speaking about their relationship with God, and also their problems and the issues that they were facing in our small group sessions that we did twice a day. I thought that was really cool.